Hey y'all, it's Heel Heat time.
Hi everybody and welcome to Heel Heat. My name is George Coles and this is our NXT show for the week. Let's jump right into it. First off, we have Sasha Banks versus Alexis Bliss, with Sasha being accompanied by Summer Rae and Charlotte, the BFFs. Pretty decent match. Was more used to do a potential split between the BFFs as we see Charlotte and Summer arguing on the outside. Sasha gets distracted. Alexis Bliss gets the roll up for the pin. So the tension's there. It kind of looked like Summer walked away from the group at the end. So we'll see where this goes. Whether it leads to Sasha challenging Charlotte for the NXT Divas title, or even Summer challenging Charlotte, or even a three-way between the three. Nice little addition, nice little way. We're going to see what that does and what that adds and does for the Divas division in NXT. Next up, we have Mojo Rawley versus Garrett Dillon. Pretty decent match. Mojo is improving pretty rapidly. He's gone from a guy who basically was all offense to now he's a little bit better of a seller. His gimmick, if you've never seen it, is sort of a 21st century Ultimate Warrior type gimmick. His catchphrase is, "I don't get hyped, I stay hyped." So there's a lot of frenetic energy. He runs around the ring, always straightforward, hits you real fast. Most of his matches are over in less than 3-4 minutes. But he's getting better and better at it. He's adding nuances to his style, and the guy's got star potential written all over him. It's just a matter of him getting the ring time and learning the ropes better and becoming a little bit better of a wrestler before he gets there. But you can see he's grown leaps and bounds, and the training in NXT is really helping him. Next up, and Mojo won, if I didn't mention that, I'm sorry. Next up, we had the debuting Vaudevillains, Simon Gotch and Aiden English, which, if you've seen Aiden before, his gimmick is he's a stage actor. He does songs, he sings his way to the ring. Simon Gotch is playing a 30s, 40s styles carny strongman, even with the twirly mustache. I don't know how this is going to play on the main roster, but it's damn sure fun in a NXT. I thought it was cool, great opener. They were to go up against Angelo Dawkins and Travis Taylor, who are two guys lower on the run in NXT, not have a chance to build their way up yet. But a good opener, good first match for the two. Show us what they were about, show us what to expect with them. I liked what they did with the preview where they turned it into a black and white movie. I thought it was cool. I liked the gimmick. Like I said, I think it's going to be hard for it to get over, on the WWE main roster, but in an intimate setting like the NXT arena, I think it's going to get over like gangbusters. Just my opinion. Which brings us to our next match, which I thought was the match of the night by leaps and bounds. Callisto versus Tyler Breeze. To me, this match was everything you would want. You had the high-flying aerial artistry of Callisto, who I think can easily be the replacement for Rey Mysterio when Rey Mysterio hangs up the mask finally. The guy is amazing. His offense is so innovative. His charisma shoots through the TV screen. The fans chant Lucha for him. Obviously, he's a Lucha Libre influenced wrestler. Great wrestler, great style. Meshed well with Tyler Breeze, especially with Tyler's newer, more violent side to him. And what can I say about Tyler Breeze that hasn't been said already? I think this guy is an absolute star in the making. He reminds me, personally, of Shawn Michaels when Shawn Michaels first broke off from the Rockers. You knew he had it. It was just a matter of time before they let him run with it. And that's what I see with Tyler. Absolutely great match. These two work very well together. These two, actually, it's hard to find them bad opponents, to be honest with you. They're two really good wrestlers that I expect to see called up very soon. I enjoyed it. It has to be one of my favorite NXT matches over the last few months. I thought it was a great match. It was a NXT special quality match, if that's what they're going to call their little pay-per-view-esque things. I thought it was great, a great part of the show. Led us right into the main event. Tyler Breeze won, of course, I'm sorry. Which, for some reason, I'm forgetting to say the winners on these. Our next match in the main event of the night, we see Natalie Neidhart talking to JBL, who, if you don't know, is the commissioner of NXT, or GM of NXT, whatever stupid fake authority figure you want to call him, asking him if he could put Tyson Kidd and Sami Zayn together in a tag title match against the Ascension. We see the Ascension, who pretty much are bulldozing through anybody that comes in their way, going up against Tyson Kidd and Sami Zayn, two terrific singles wrestlers. Both have had tag team success in the past. Tyson Kidd with David Hartsmith, and Sami Zayn as El Generico with Kevin Steen, not in WWE Universe, but still a lot of fans are familiar with him because of that. Good match. We see Sami Zayn started off and kind of did the old school heel or face and peril role, to which Tyson Kidd eventually steps and jumps off the ring apron before Sami could try to tag him. When Sami looks at him, he just yells, you wanted to wrestle the whole match? Go ahead, you have it. Which leads right into the Ascension hitting their finisher, the Fall of Man, which is a beautiful finishing move. Great tag team. The sky's the limit for these guys. To me, it's if you took the best parts of the Eliminators, which are an old tag team from ACW. If you don't know who they are, please look them up because they were a fantastic tag team. If you took the best parts of the Eliminators and mixed in some elements of the Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors, that's what you would have with the Ascension. I think they're just absolutely fabulous. They win the match, obviously, when Kidd kind of turns on his partner, furthering Tyson Kidd's heel turn. I think it's a good all-together show. From top to bottom, a lot of people on the show that within the next year you're going to see on the main roster. The Ascension, I don't know why they're not up there yet. Sami Zayn, he's just a matter of time. Tyler Breeze, Callisto, them as well. Mojo Rawley, I think he's on a rocket ship up there. Sasha Banks and Charlotte as well. I mean, so the show was packed with a lot of what we would consider can't miss talents. Now, does that mean that they're going to turn out to be major superstars? Maybe, maybe not, but we're getting to see some of what the best NXT has to offer. I almost call it TNX. Anyway, now we're going to go into this now. If you've seen our inaugural NXT show last week, we do it a little bit differently than our other shows. We don't rate the show on a 1 to 5 scale. However, we rate the prospects on a 1 to 5 scale. The top 5 prospects there we go, I'm going to try to call it TNXT. Our top 5 prospects in NXT are going to be number 5, Bayley. What can I say about Bayley that I haven't already said? Fantastic wrestler, great gimmick, Great style, works well with the children, works well with the fans, gets you all involved. Next up, Sami Zayn, our number 4, Sami Zayn, one of the absolute best wrestlers in the world. Like I said, it's just a matter of time before he's on the main roster and highlighting pay-per-views and hopefully main eventing. Number 3, Tyler Breeze. Like I just said, he reminds me of a young Shawn Michaels. That's the best compliment I could think of for the guy. A big, huge compliment, in my opinion, to what he's doing and what he's done. Number 2, Charlotte. The best of what the NXT Divas division has to offer. The lineage with her being Ric Flair's daughter, the athletic ability, the ring psychology. Charlotte's got it all down, and she's a very formidable talent, someone to look for going into the future, being a mega star in the Divas Knockouts division, or Divas division in WWE. And number 1, just like it was last week, the Ascension. Like I said, Connor and Victor, the Ascension, a special tag team that only comes on once in a generation. I'm going to pump my brakes a little bit on that. If the WWE allows them to stay as a tag team, they could be one of the special tag teams that only comes along every now and again. Something like the Dudley Boys, the Road Warriors, the Midnight Express, the Andersons, the Wild Samoans. They could have the impact that these tag teams that I've mentioned had, and maybe even bigger. WWE tends to make tag teams a joke, where there's no longer guys that are a tag team. It's 2 guys that come together and make a team, instead of coming up as a tag team like the Ascension are doing. I think they're doing it backwards. I think you're really mishandling a whole side of the wrestling business which people love, and that's tag team wrestling. Used to be in the boom periods of the 80s and the 90s, when wrestling was at its apex in popularity, guys would come up as a team. Guys like the Freebirds, guys like the Rock and Roll Express, the Midnight Express, Demolition, the Road Warriors, on and on and on through the 80s, and then you got into the 90s, you had teams like Harlem Heat, teams like the Eliminators I mentioned earlier, the Dudley Boys, Public Enemy, the Steiner Brothers, and so on and so forth. Nowadays you get more of, okay, we're not doing anything with Sami Zayn, so let's tag team him up with Mojo Rawley. And then after a couple months they split up and they go their separate ways. If the WWE runs with the Ascension, they could be one of the great tag teams of all time, in my opinion. That's how good they are. But basically, that's all I have to say about that. My name is George Coles, and this has been another episode of Heel Heat.